What up, people? It's your boy Massachusetts out here with another comic review. So, I wish I had gone to this sooner, but everybody's been doing so many good videos on this particular issue. The Batman the Drowned. The cover is very unique. We see a full body. Dark Knight. No Justice League here. Nothing else. Kind of like the Dawnbreaker. Now, this book was very unique to me. I feel like this character, her name is Bryce Wayne, is very different from the rest of the from the Dark Knights, which we'll soon get into. Now, definitely her own character, so it's very unique. But we'll get into it. So we see right here that she's giving narration right here. She's talking about the world I've only known. Only world I've ever known sinks into the darkness below me, as the only love I've ever known. But Sylvester died a long time ago. So she lost she lost her lover Sylvester Kyle, which could be obviously an analogous mindset to Selina Kyle, which is intriguing. So basically, she just gets out of the water, talking about how the hate for the light consumed her. That she hated to, do it. That protection of my world was an obsession that consumed me, but that she lost it. So she just realized it's better to drown. So we just see this wicked, wicked face right here. And then we see her in the drown just go ahead and start controlling the waves, controlling the seas, and she's saying, and she just talks about the light hurts my eyes. I'm not used to it. I hate the light. It's to blame for everything. I used to think that Sylvester had gone up to that light. Stupid, naive. My love isn't here, and this isn't a better place. The one who laughs told me this town is called Amnesty Bay. Amnesty, a clean slate, a chance for a do-over, a chance to wash it all away. So we just see her awesome power, controlling command of the waves and the sea. Just well done right here. And the colors, the art is just nice. We see her just bring in a tidal wave, just coming in to crash the whole city. And now she's it's like this place is like it's now buried underwater. I will say the one thing that I understand with this comic is that there's a lot of dialogue boxes everywhere that is kind of off-putting, but it's still pretty good in my opinion. So this place, this light, this Amnesty Bay, this world is what I'm owed. So she feels like for all the pain and all the disenfranchisement, the loss of her world and everything, she is owed recompense, basically. And she's basically saying, my name is Bryce Wayne and I'm here to take it, payment in full. And of course there'll be resistance. And then we see, I don't know what the hell you are, but this stops now. I expected that. Right beside you, Arthur, take this monster down. So we see a nice splash page right here of Aquaman and his wife, Mera, which is pretty nice. Everything that, and she's been corrupted, basically. Basically been corrupted by her power. But we see it's the rhyme, Batman the Drowned in the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. Done by Dab Abnett, the writer, who wrote Titans. Very good. Very good. Did a review on that. Check it out. Philip Tan and Tyler Kirkham are the artists. Dean White and Arif Peranto the colors. Tom Napolitano the letters. Jason Fabok and Brad Addison did the cover. So, this is pretty good. So we see Aquaman and Mera come in, and he's asking why he did that. It's like, I know who he is, or at least who he must be. An Aquaman, gender roles reversed here, but he is slow, what, and weak, and he just punches him. Bam! She just punches him. Arthur, and this one, and she's just look at this wicked smile. This one wielding aquakinesis. It's like futile. It's like the water does not obey me. It's like, my water, my rules. So we see that she doesn't say much. She thinks a lot, which is why you have all these square boxes of her thoughts, but she keeps to herself, basically. Then we see Aquaman go in, and he's like, he comes for me again. He's not holding back. That's fine. I fought and killed plenty of Atlanteans before. This is Earth Negative 11. Since they first appeared on my world years ago, it was 18 months after I hunted down the last of the rogue metas and avenged Sylvester. So apparently, we see that it wasn't the Atlanteans responsible for um, Sylvester Kyle's death, but it would seem that Metis did, and as a result, she killed all of the Metas, everything, and every one of them. And she thought that she had made her world safe as a result, but then she just saw Aquawoman come from the sea on self-imposed exile. And from there she immediately thought they were a threat because she believes that all metahumans have to be evil after her how should I say, after her experience with what happened to Sylvester, which is interesting because we all know that Batman has a intriguing insight of maybe distrusting those with superpowers. So we see her as like claiming they came in peace, but I knew better. Just more rogue metas, a threat that menaces everything we hold dear. I could feel it in my gut. I don't trust anyone, but I trust gut instinct. That is a very Batman feeling right there. I trust my ability to protect the innocent. He said, I had no faith in the Atlanteans' efforts to sue for peace. Sure enough, the peace talks collapsed in violence. So apparently there was a war between the surface world and the Atlanteans. And she's like, my gut is right. The Atlanteans were vicious. Untrustworthy invaders, that's what they all are. It's like, so I redefined vicious for them. And we see this vicious splash page of her just murdering the Atlantean queen right here. Terrible. Then, of course, she felt that by just brutally sending a message, she thought that would dissuade the Atlanteans from acting further, but no, they ended up drowning Gotham City. And that kind of, is like a little... I think it's very similar to, how should I say... Flashpoint, where, Wonder Woman killed Mara, and she thought that, that would be the end of it. But no, Atlantis and Themyscira ended up going to war. So we see that she felt no remorse for her city drowning. She just thought it was a casualty of war, basically. Sacrifices had to be made. Life during wartime is obliged to adapt, so I adapted myself in an auto-surgical process to become like them, to breathe water and fight on their terms. So she starts changing her whole physiology. She studied the Atlanteans and did everything. And she created her whole army, which are called Dead Waters, which is something that is in the previous, which is something that's mentioned heavily in the Aquaman comic for Rebirth. So we see that, she created her Deadwater army and she conquered, and the whole world of hers was drowned. So while the earth was still there, it was basically an underwater prison, more or less. It's like the new price was a new way of life for the victors and drowned world. So I lit a lamp to shine across the deep, a light to signal hope and victory, the only light left in the world. So and then one night the signal fell dark. I went to repair it, and he was waiting for me, the one who laughs. And then we see the man who laughs already here. It's like, you don't trust anything, do you, Bryce? Nothing at all. And this world is done because of it. It's like, he was right. I never trust anyone, but I trusted him. There was something about it in this voice, something familiar and reassuring. It's like, but it's not really your fault. It's the light, you see. And so he shows her all the other dark nights that are there. All of them just looking devilish and everything. The light up there, he showed it to me. He showed me the lower tier worlds, the minus realms of the dark multiverse. that had suffered so the light could thrive. So we're seeing a little building that each of their negative worlds were destroyed so that the regular worlds in the multiverse could survive. So the dark multiverse can only lives to, I guess, fuel the light multiverse, which is interesting. So he said the worlds of the people had paid the price above so their worlds could flourish. He showed me what the others like me, outcast iterations, stark echoes of a man who had taken it all, which must be the different forms of Batman. So the man who laughs like, and he laughed. You see that light up there, right up there? It mocks us all. It's an unsullied multiverse. All is bright and ascendant. It's why we suffer. It's why nothing can be ever made right. The world is the perfection you dream of. You are its nightmare. Think of drowning, he said. It's active, it's passive. Don't be the victim who drowns. Don't sink with the rest. Be active, rise up, reclaim the light, and be the one who does the drowning. And that's why I'm here. I am very excited for his book because he seems... We all think Barbados is this threat, but I wouldn't be surprised if he might be the real threat because I don't see him as a knight or a rook in a chessboard. I do see him as maybe a secret king or a very powerful queen on the board, but we'll see. So we get back to Earth Zero, and then she's like, she's about to take action, and then she summons her dark water army. My water, my rules. I open a conduit, bring my army into the light side to fight up by my side. This is a great event. These are probably some of the greatest villains right now produced. And then we see the Dark Waters come, and they take hold of them. And they're trying to escape, but we see the Drowned take control of Mera, saying that you're not going anywhere. And it's nice that they emphasize the bubbles, because we know that she has probably a very aquatic fish-like voice. Jack, and then he's like, Mera, the sea changes everything. You can't stop it. Merge with the dead water. Succumb to the inevitable. That's how I made my army, through transmuting the power of the sea, to turn the tide of loyalty, to drown opposition, to make even the most resistant fight for me. And then we just see Mera is now a Dark Water. So we now know what happened to her, as was mentioned in the 3rd issue of the Dark Knight's Metal. And we see that she thinks to herself, he screams in despair. I know that feeling, to lose the person you love. And he's like, what have you done to... And he's just in pain. He's like, he's going to be dead in another second and the pain will cease. How fortunate. I wish I had died a few seconds after Sylvester so I could have been spared the... Dr. Fate's in the house! Boom! And then we just see Dr. Fate come in and swoop Aquaman out. And she's like, it steals the magic has stolen Aquaman away from him, and it cheats death. It's like, I wonder where it's taking him. My Solus, he's alive. Wherever he is going, he'll get to live that pain until I find him again. I can tell that the fight between Aquaman and the Drowned right here will be an epic fight. It will be epic. And we see her light up her signal. And she says, I'm going to say, and it's already Amnesty Bay is underwater completely. You can see the bubbles. And it's like, the amnesty begins here. I light my signal, my light to the show this world my intent. I'm going to drown it all. This whole world. Trust me on that. And then we see, to be continued next week in Batman the Merciless. This was pretty good. So, while this, as I read it, I realized I did like it, but it wasn't as to the par as the other ones. I never read Death, but I have read Dawnbreaker and the Murder Machine. And so far, I do really prefer the Murder Machine. I still think it's the best, out of the four. Even though I'll eventually read the Red Death. But she, out of all the Dark Knights, I would have to say is the most unique. And she, loved a man. She died. And she ended up killing all the menace, which we don't know about. But we see that she picked up on one of Batman's worst traits, is his lack of trust. And the trust in himself only. And here she is taking it to the extreme. And where we see that the powers of other people have corrupted them, like Batman's negative ring power corrupted him into the Dawnbreaker. Alfred AI's corrupted Bruce into the murder machine, and then the whole Speed Force merged with the Flash corrupted Bruce as the Red Death, where he's consistently merged with Barry's essence. Here, she willfully adapted and corrupted herself to bring about her world. So she's a person of her own convictions. So once again, I thank y'all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notifications when you're done. I want to thank you all again, and I do these reviews for you, the people, because I want to get my views out there. We can discuss good comics and whatnot. Okay, thank y'all for watching. I will be in Charlottesville starting from Friday all the way to next Saturday. So you may see a little bit of a change of scenery. But thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all later.